we've been using the satellite communications and satellite technology for content distribution for well over 30 years. It's proven itself to be highly reliable, highly available, and high quality. If those attributes worked for the first 30 years, there's a good chance that that foundation could be a part of their growth for the next 30 years. What needs to adapt, and that's the challenge, are some of those other words that maybe the satellite doesn't do quite as well. Does it scale? Is it flexible? Can it be interactive? Is it personal? So what I'd like to see the satellite communications industry recognize is they do things that is as good as any of our telecommunication service providers in terms of availability, reliability, and quality. But what they also have to start to address is targeted content delivery. I think they've got the tools. I think they've got the talent. I actually think they've got the technology. I think they've got to integrate and glue a different model for the future so they can send a message that they can be those other words: flexible, scalable, adaptable, interoperable. It's a great word. It's an intriguing word. I have a couple of thoughts. I think it's great marketing. ABC New York is a cloud. ESPN Bristol is a cloud. Intelsat's Ellenwood, Georgia Center is a cloud. The opportunity for companies to get out of the iron business has some intrigue. Every broadcast center is very rich in hardware, whether it's air conditioning, whether it's video routers, whether it's transcode engines, whether it's file servers, very rich kinds of iron. The cloud has an opportunity to look at that type of infrastructure and see if there's an outsourced solution that might be possible. We know, and our executives certainly recognize, that our linear television business is not going away. But if all we do is focus on our linear television business, we will ultimately not have a high growth opportunity going forward. How do we get into the ways to get into these other rich platforms that will drive our content in ways that people need to consume it? Those are where the opportunities can be. Shared resources. We need desperately, as a media organization, to get out of too many hands involved in versioning our content to unique platforms. So we need something that's much more shared in terms of our storage, in terms of our delivery, in terms of our metadata, so that we can ultimately share all this this type of content in these multiple platforms. The fear of it is it's a greater reliance on software. And although that we know is going to be our future, the more integrated our supply chain becomes, the more dependent we become on middleware type software to glue it all together. And that's something that I think we as an industry are somewhat behind in.